So in the past video, I talked about what a HMO strategy is, how does it work, what kind of house befits better a HMO strategy, what are the pros and the cons of it. So if you haven't seen that, go back to past videos and you'll be able to see that one. This video, I'm going to talk about what are the costs associated with running a HMO well. Now we've got over 150 people in HMOs, so we are managing this for the last 15 years now with property managers and everything else. So it's quite a robust business, but let me tell you some of the costs associated in running a HMO business. And that's what it is. You're running like a hotel, really, because you've got guests that comes in. These guests do stay on average, the kind of the UK national average around 6 months tenure. We're lucky enough we get people to stay on for at least 3 to 4 years, and I think there's a lot to do with something breaks, we fix it within 24 hours, and actually we are there all the time for them to be able to report issues if there are any at our properties. So in terms of managing cost of a HMO, let's take a look at what they are. So first of all, you've got to pay for all the utilities. So you've got gas, electricity and water. On average, we're paying now somewhere around £400 per month for those three things, and sometimes higher, sometimes a little bit lower, depending on number of people, usage, and what type of. For example, if you've got electric heaters, electricity will be higher. If you've got gas boilers, the gas might be higher. So you've got gas, electricity, and water is what is included in the rent typically. The other thing is council tax. On average, council tax depending where you are, can range from 120 per month to 160, 180 per month, depending again where the house is. So straight away, you are down around £600 worth of cost on utilities and council tax. Then you've got to provide a cleaner. Let's say it's £50 and £50. Now you're at £700 per month that you have to deduct from the rent that you receive. We're going to say it's quite a high usage property, so let's attribute £100 per month on fixing a broken tap, the fridge not working, the lights gone, so you've got to send somebody in and out to kind of fix these things. So now you're at £800 worth of cost per month. Then you've got things like, if you are not self-managing, you've got to pay the managing agent the cost of management, and typically, let's say, it's 10% of the monthly rent. So let's say now you've got 5 rooms renting on the average price of £500 per month. So you get on one side £2,500 coming in. On the other side, I've already spoken about the £800 that's already going out on utilities, council tax, broadband, cleaner and maintenance. So you've got 2.5 minus 800 management costs that you've got to pay. So let's say that's 10% of 2.5 grand, 250 quid. So all in, we're now at 800 plus 250. Let's call it £1,000. So you've now got 1,500 quid worth of profit that you are making per month. But you've got the interest only payment that you've got to make. Now let's take the typical example of a average house in the UK. Now is £300,000. You put 25% deposit on this £300,000 property. You are taking a £225,000 worth of mortgage. Let's say right now, April 24, you'll probably get a mortgage of around 6%, 5.5–6% lending rate, fixed for 5 years. But just to keep my math simple, we're going to say 225,000 at 5% interest. So 10% will be 22,000, 5% 11,000. So let's say that's £1,000 a month on average. So you have of interest only payment, fixed for 5 years at 5.5% interest rate, borrowing £225,000 for that particular property, and that is quite normal for all these costs that I'm talking about. £1,000 of outgoings, £1,000 now on interest only payment. So that's £2,000. Now you come back to the rent that you're making. You're making £2,500, but you're spending £2,000 to make this £2,500. So actually, your rental gross profit before tax is actually only £500. Okay, so you could say, well, £500 is still £500, that's okay. But what's wrong with this is, A, you've left 25% deposit on that property. You've left £75,000 in my typical example in that deal to make £500 a month. Times 12 is £6,000 a year. So you're not even making 10% return on your money. you are actually probably making about 8% return. Now, whilst it's better, it's a lot of hassle you've done to make 8% return on your money. So the challenge for me with HMOs are multifaceted, and as I hope I've explained, some of the challenges now that we have in 2024 versus what it was like in 2018, for example, or 2020 before the energy prices kind of tripled, as well as the borrowing rate went berserk after Liz Truss's catastrophic budget issues that it then pushed all the lending rate higher. So in a nutshell, this is what HMO is. This is what's involved with regards to the cost of running HMOs, and why I believe now in 2024, HMOs is probably not the right strategy to be focused on. If you've got any questions, DM me below. You can also see a lot of my other content on all my social media, on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and also Facebook, that talks about title splitting on there as well. You can also check out my 2 books on Amazon, Grow Your Wealth Via Title Splitting for a specific title splitting strategy, and also Scale Your Wealth Via Property Investment. And that's your kind of 6 strategies that I've employed in the last 25 years to buy properties in the UK and build a passive income as well as a multi-million-pound property portfolio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.